Are your mornings draining your life force? Many unknowingly start their day with subtle poisons. What if a few simple shifts could unlock vibrant energy and clarity? Stay with me, for the final understanding we uncover together holds the deepest truth for your well-being. Don't miss this. Empty promises. We begin our journey by looking at what often presents itself as a quick and easy start to the day, yet may, in truth, lay a foundation of imbalance. Consider those brightly colored boxes, the processed cereals, or the conveniently wrapped bars that call out from the shelves. They speak of speed, of instant satisfaction, of a solution to the morning rush. But what is the nature of this promise? Is it a promise of sustained energy, of true nourishment, or is it something more fleeting, something that ultimately asks more of our system than it gives in return? When we consume these items, often laden with refined sugars and artificial ingredients, there is an initial surge, a feeling that something has been provided. Yet how long does this sensation last? For many it is followed by a dip, a feeling of emptiness, a craving for more, not long after. This cycle, this up and down, can be likened to a shallow breath. It gives a momentary feeling of air, but it does not deeply oxygenate, it does not truly vitalize. The body, in its profound wisdom, seeks genuine sustenance. It looks for building blocks, for slow-releasing energy that can carry it through the demands of the day with steadiness and clarity. These highly processed options, however, are often stripped of their natural integrity. The grains are pulverized, the fibers removed, and what remains is a core that the body processes too quickly, leading to that spike in blood sugar. That feeling of a false high, soon to be followed by a corresponding low. It is like building a house with materials that look appealing but lack structural soundness. For a short while it may stand, but under real pressure, its weaknesses are revealed. Our inner environment, our physical and energetic system, responds similarly. When we introduce substances that offer a quick flash but no deep reservoir of strength, we may find our focus wavers, our patience thins, and our overall sense of well-being becomes fragile, easily disturbed by the small challenges that life inevitably presents. Think of the energy within us as a steady flame. What we choose to feed this flame determines its quality, whether it burns bright and consistent or flickers and fades. These empty promises, these foods that are more construction than creation, act like kindling that burns too fast, leaving behind ash and a demand for more fuel almost immediately. There is little depth, little of the slow, resonant burn that provides warmth and light for an extended period. The body then has to work harder to manage these rapid fluctuations, diverting energy that could be used for healing, for clear thinking, for joyful movement, simply to regain a state of equilibrium. It's a subtle drain, one that might not be noticed day by day, but over weeks, months, and years, it can contribute to a sense of pervasive tiredness, a feeling that we are not quite operating at our full capacity. Understanding this is not about blame or restriction, but about awareness. It is about recognizing the difference between what is merely filling and what is truly fulfilling. The path to vitality often lies in simplicity, in returning to forms of nourishment that are closer to their natural state. When we choose these, we are, in essence, choosing to honor the intricate design of our bodies. We are choosing to provide the kind of fuel that supports sustained energy, mental clarity, and a deeper sense of inner calm. The contrast becomes clear when we experience the difference. A morning started with true sustenance feels different. There is a groundedness, a readiness, a quiet strength that unfolds naturally without the need for artificial peaks or the subsequent struggle out of the valleys. This awareness, this ability to discern what truly serves us, is a gift we can cultivate, a wisdom that grows with each mindful choice. It is the beginning of a conversation with our body, learning to listen to its subtle cues and responding with care and understanding. This first step, moving away from these empty promises, opens the door to a more vibrant and harmonious way of being. Sugar traps. Now, let us turn our attention to another common fixture of the morning table, one that often masquerades as a treat, a small joy to begin the day, but can subtly lay traps for our well-being. I speak of those delightful-looking pastries, the soft donuts, the sweetened yogurts, and the array of sugary spreads that tempt the palate. The allure of sweetness is ancient, deeply wired within us, a primal signal for readily available energy. In nature, this sweetness often came packaged with fiber, vitamins, and minerals, as in ripe fruit. However, the concentrated refined sugars found in many modern breakfast items present a different challenge to our internal landscape. They offer an intense, immediate sweetness that can be hard to resist, yet their impact on our system can be profound and, over time, depleting. It's like a sudden, intense burst of sunlight that is too strong, quickly overwhelming the gentle balance needed for steady growth. When we consume these highly sweetened foods, especially on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, our body experiences a rapid influx of sugar into the bloodstream. This surge signals the pancreas to work overtime, releasing insulin to manage this sudden load. While this is a natural and necessary process, the intensity and frequency of these surges, day after day, can place a significant strain on our regulatory systems. Imagine a calm pond, its surface smooth and reflective. A sudden downpour of refined sugar is like throwing a large stone into this pond, creating ripples and disturbances that take time and energy to settle. Over time, the pond's ability to easily return to stillness can be compromised. Similarly, our body's finely tuned mechanisms for managing blood sugar can become less efficient, leading not only to those familiar energy crashes and cravings, but also contributing to a state of underlying inflammation throughout the system. This inflammation is not always something we feel acutely, like a burn or an injury, but it can be a subtle, pervasive guest that contributes to a range of discomforts. It might manifest as stiffness in the joints, a feeling of puffiness, or a general lack of vibrancy. Mentally, it can cloud our thoughts, making clarity and focus more difficult to achieve. It's important to understand that this is not about demonizing sweetness itself, for sweetness in its natural, balanced form can be a joyful part of life. Rather, it is about recognizing the form and quantity of sugar we invite into our temple, especially at the start of the day when our system is awakening and perhaps more sensitive. A breakfast laden with refined sugars sets a particular tone for the hours that follow, often creating a cycle of craving more sweet or stimulating foods to counteract the inevitable dip in energy. This can feel like being caught in a current, pulled along by impulses rather than guided by conscious choice. The alternative is not a path of deprivation, but one of discovery, finding the gentle, nourishing sweetness that nature provides in whole fruits, or learning to appreciate the subtle sweetness in grains and other whole foods. When we reduce our reliance on these concentrated sugar traps, something remarkable happens. Our palate begins to recalibrate. The natural sweetness in a fresh berry or a slice of apple becomes more pronounced, more satisfying. We start to break free from that cycle of intense craving and subsequent crash. Our energy levels become more stable, more like a gently flowing river than a turbulent series of rapids and dry spells. This shift allows for a greater sense of internal peace and physical comfort. It is about cultivating a discerning taste, one that appreciates true nourishment over mere stimulation, and in doing so, we foster a deeper harmony within, allowing our energy to be used for growth, creativity, and connection, rather than constantly managing the disruptions caused by these hidden sweetness traps that promise delight but often deliver disquiet. Processed meats. Let us now consider another category of foods often found on the breakfast plate, particularly in certain traditions, that may present a challenge to our system's quest for lightness and vitality. These are the processed meats, the bacon, the sausages, the cured cold cuts. While they offer a savory, umami flavor that many find appealing and a sense of satisfying a hunger for something substantial, it is wise to look deeper into how our bodies receive and process these particular forms of nourishment, especially as we seek to cultivate long-term well-being and clarity. The journey of these meats from their natural state to our plate often involves methods of preservation and a variety of additives that can place an additional load on our digestive and detoxification systems. It is not simply the meat itself, but the company it keeps in terms of sodium, nitrates, and other chemical compounds used to extend its shelf life, enhance its color, or create a particular texture. When we ingest these foods, our digestive system, a marvel of intricate processes, must work diligently to break them down and assimilate what is useful while neutralizing and eliminating what is not. Processed meats, due to their density and the nature of their added components, can demand a significant amount of energy for this task. Imagine asking a finely tuned instrument to constantly process coarse and complex materials. Over time, its efficiency may diminish. Its delicate mechanisms may experience wear. Similarly, a regular intake of these heavier processed items can feel like a burden to our internal organs, particularly the liver and kidneys, which are tasked with filtering and cleansing. This doesn't mean an occasional indulgence is a catastrophe, but a consistent pattern of starting the day with such foods can contribute to a feeling of sluggishness, a certain heaviness that can permeate not just our physical state but also our mental and energetic clarity. The body often communicates its needs through subtle signals. A feeling of being weighed down after a meal, a sense of digestive discomfort, or a lack of zest and energy can be messages inviting us to examine our choices. Instead of feeling light, alert, and ready for the day, one might experience a desire for rest, a need to recover from the meal itself. This is counterproductive to our aim of beginning the day with vitality. The energy we expend on digesting difficult foods is energy that is then unavailable for other important functions, for mending and repair, for focused thought, for engaging with the world with an open heart and mind. Consider the difference in how you feel after a meal that is easily assimilated versus one that sits heavily. That feeling of lightness, of being nourished yet unburdened, is a key indicator of a choice that aligns with your body's harmony. The wisdom here lies not in complete prohibition for everyone at all times, as individual constitutions and circumstances vary, but in mindful awareness and moderation. It's about asking, does this choice truly support the feeling of vitality I wish to cultivate? Are there alternatives that can provide the satisfying protein and savory notes without the accompanying load of processing and additives? Perhaps exploring plant-based proteins or simpler, less processed forms of animal protein, if one chooses, could offer a gentler start. The aim is to reduce the overall burden on our system, to choose foods that cooperate with our body's natural desire for balance and ease. By making choices that lighten the digestive task, we free up our internal resources, allowing our energy to flow more freely, contributing to a sense of well-being that is both physical and mental. This careful consideration of what we ask our body to process is an act of respect, a way of nurturing the vessel that carries us through life. Hidden fats. Our exploration now leads us to another area where caution is warranted, especially in the context of our first meal of the day, the realm of hidden and often unhealthy fats. While fats are an essential macronutrient, crucial for hormone production, nutrient absorption, and cellular health, the type and quality of fats we consume make all the difference. Many conventional breakfast options, from fried items like hash browns or certain preparations of eggs, to pastries made with hydrogenated oils or margarines, can introduce fats that, rather than supporting our vitality, may actually impede it. These are not the wholesome fats found in avocados, nuts, seeds, or quality olive oil, but rather fats that have been altered, heavily processed, or are simply consumed in excessive amounts relative to our body's immediate needs. They can be like a slow, unseen current, gradually depositing silt in a clear stream, making the flow sluggish and murky. When we consume these less beneficial fats, especially those that are trans fats, or an overabundance of certain saturated fats from fried or heavily processed sources, our body faces a challenge. These fats can be difficult to metabolize efficiently and can contribute to a state of low-grade inflammation, similar to what we discussed with refined sugars. They can also impact our cardiovascular system, the intricate network of vessels responsible for delivering life-giving oxygen and nutrients to every cell. Imagine these pathways, designed to be clear and flexible, becoming burdened or less pliable. This doesn't happen overnight, but consistent choices can contribute to such a state over time. The feeling associated with this might be a subtle lethargy, a lack of sharpness, or a general sense that our internal engine isn't running as smoothly as it could. Breakfast is a time when we are breaking a fast, and our system is often more receptive, more sensitive. Introducing a heavy load of difficult-to-process fats at this time can set a tone of sluggishness for the rest of the day. It's like trying to start a journey with a heavy, unnecessary weight in your pack. The effort required is greater, and the joy of the journey may be diminished. The energy that could be directed towards mental acuity, creative pursuits, or physical activity is instead diverted towards the arduous task of dealing with these challenging substances. We might not always connect that mid-morning slump or that afternoon fog directly to our breakfast choice, but the body keeps a faithful record, and these patterns can have a cumulative effect on our overall sense of well-being and our long-term health. The invitation here is to become more discerning about the sources of fat in our morning meal. It is not about fearing fat, but about choosing wisely. Opting for whole food sources of fat or using healthy oils sparingly in preparation can make a significant difference. Instead of deep-fried items, perhaps baked or steamed options. Instead of margarines with questionable ingredients, perhaps a small amount of pure butter, or better yet, a drizzle of olive oil or a smear of avocado. By making these shifts, we provide our body with the building blocks it truly needs: fats that support brain health, reduce inflammation, and contribute to sustained energy. This mindful selection of fats helps to keep our internal rivers flowing clearly, supporting not just physical health, but also a brighter, more focused mind. It's another step towards aligning our daily habits with the profound wisdom of our own physiology, cultivating a state of enduring vitality from the very start of our day. Gentle start. Now, let us turn our gaze towards the foods that nurture, that support, that provide a truly beneficial beginning to our day. The first among these, a humble yet powerful ally, is the choice of a gentle warming start, such as plain oatmeal or its Eastern counterpart, congee. These simple preparations, often overlooked in our quest for more exciting or complex flavors, hold a profound wisdom in their simplicity and their effect on our awakening digestive system. Imagine the body after a night of rest and repair. It is like a garden in the cool dawn, not yet ready for intense activity, but receptive to gentle tending. A warm, easily digestible meal like oatmeal or congee acts like a soft morning light and a gentle watering for this garden, preparing it slowly and kindly for the day ahead. The beauty of these foods lies in their inherent nature. Whole grains like oats, when cooked with water or a simple plant-based milk, break down into a soft, soothing consistency that is exceptionally kind to the stomach and intestines. This gentleness means that the digestive system does not have to expend a great deal of energy in the initial processing. Instead of a jolt, it's a gradual awakening. This is particularly beneficial for those with sensitive digestion, or for anyone seeking to conserve and build their vital energy, their qi, rather than expend it unnecessarily. The slow-releasing carbohydrates in these whole grains provide a steady, sustained source of fuel, preventing the sharp spikes and subsequent crashes in blood sugar that we discussed earlier. This translates into more stable energy levels, improved focus, and a sense of calm satiety that can last well into the morning. Congee, a rice porridge popular in many Asian cultures, shares these wonderful qualities. It is often cooked for a long time, making the rice incredibly soft and easy to digest, almost pre-digested in a way. It can be made savory or plain, and its warming nature is considered highly beneficial in traditional medicine for strengthening the digestive fire, known as spleen qi without overwhelming it. Whether oatmeal or congee, these meals are like a warm embrace for your internal organs. They provide comfort, hydration, and a clean slate upon which you can build the rest of your day's nutrition. They don't demand much, but they give generously in terms of sustained energy and digestive peace. This is the opposite of the empty promises we spoke of. This is a promise of gentle, reliable support. Furthermore, these simple bases offer a wonderful canvas for adding other nourishing ingredients should you choose. A sprinkle of cinnamon, a few berries, a spoonful of nuts or seeds can enhance the nutritional profile and add pleasing flavors and textures without compromising the inherent gentleness of the meal. The key is to start with the plain, wholesome base and add mindfully. By choosing such a gentle start, we are making a conscious decision to work in harmony with our body's natural rhythms. We are saying, I will nourish you kindly, I will support your functions, I will not burden you. This act of self-care, simple as it may seem, sets a positive tone for the entire day. It fosters a sense of inner balance and provides a solid foundation from which our energy can rise steadily and gracefully, like the sun ascending into the morning sky, ready to illuminate the path ahead. Protein power. Following a gentle awakening of our digestive system, it is wise to consider providing it with true, sustaining strength. This brings us to the importance of incorporating sources of high-quality protein into our morning meal. Protein serves as the fundamental building block for our bodies, for repairing tissues, building muscle, producing enzymes and hormones, and supporting a robust immune system. When we speak of power, it's not an aggressive force, but rather a deep, resilient strength, an inner fortitude that allows us to meet the day's engagements with capacity and grace. Foods like well-prepared eggs, perhaps gently cooked, or plant-based options such as tofu, tempeh, or a thoughtful combination of legumes and grains can offer this profound support. They provide a sense of groundedness and satiety that is quite different from the fleeting fullness of simpler carbohydrates. The inclusion of adequate protein at breakfast has a remarkable effect on our energy regulation and appetite control throughout the day. Unlike meals that are predominantly carbohydrate-based, which can sometimes lead to a quicker return of hunger, a protein-rich breakfast helps to stabilize blood sugar levels for a more extended period. This means fewer cravings, particularly for sugary or starchy snacks mid-morning, and a more even distribution of energy. Imagine your energy as a long, slow-burning log in a fireplace, providing consistent warmth and light, rather than a quick flash of paper that burns out rapidly. Protein contributes significantly to this sustained burn, allowing for clearer thoughts and a more composed demeanor as we navigate our tasks and interactions. It helps to prevent that feeling of being on an energetic roller coaster. Consider eggs, a traditional source of complete protein, containing all the essential amino acids our bodies require. When cooked in a way that preserves their integrity, poached, soft-boiled, or gently scrambled, they are relatively easy to digest for most and provide a wealth of nutrients beyond just protein, including choline for brain health. For those who prefer plant-based nourishment, the options are abundant and equally potent. Tofu or tempeh, derived from soybeans, offer excellent protein with a different energetic quality, often feeling lighter yet still deeply satisfying. Legumes like lentils or chickpeas, perhaps incorporated into a savory breakfast bowl or a spread, also contribute significantly to our protein needs, along with beneficial fiber. The key is to choose sources that resonate with your individual constitution and dietary preferences, ensuring they are prepared in a way that enhances their digestibility and nutritional value. This protein power is not about consuming vast quantities, but about mindful inclusion. It is about understanding that our body requires these essential materials to rebuild and maintain itself optimally, especially as we age and the processes of repair become even more crucial. By ensuring our breakfast contains a good source of protein, we are actively participating in our own renewal. We are providing the necessary resources for our physical structure to remain strong and resilient, and for our metabolic processes to function smoothly. This creates an internal environment of stability and support, a feeling of being truly nourished from within. This foundation of strength allows us to move through our day not from a place of depletion, but from a place of quiet confidence in our body's inherent capacity and vitality. It is a fundamental aspect of caring for the temple. Nature's gifts. Our journey towards a nourishing breakfast would be incomplete without embracing the vibrant offerings directly from nature's bounty. Specifically, fresh fruits and certain vegetables that can enliven our morning and provide a wealth of micronutrients. When we speak of nature's gifts, we refer to those foods that come to us with their life force relatively intact, brimming with colors, textures, and subtle energies that resonate deeply with our own living systems. Berries of all kinds, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, are particularly wonderful choices. They are like small jewels, packed with antioxidants, vitamins, and fiber, yet relatively low in their glycemic impact, meaning they offer their gentle sweetness without causing a dramatic surge in blood sugar. These compounds help to protect our cells from the stresses of daily life, contributing to our overall resilience. Incorporating these fruits into our breakfast, perhaps alongside our oatmeal or with a protein source, adds not only nutritional value but also a sensory delight. The vibrant colors are a feast for the eyes, and their fresh flavors can awaken the palate in a most agreeable way. Beyond berries, other fruits like a segment of a ripe pear, a few slices of apple, or half a grapefruit can also be excellent additions. It is often wise to choose fruits that are in season, as they tend to be at their peak in terms of both flavor and nutritional content, and more in harmony with our body's needs at that particular time of year. The fiber content in these whole fruits is also crucial. It aids in digestion, promotes a healthy gut microbiome, which is increasingly understood as foundational to overall health, and contributes to that feeling of sustained fullness and stable energy. We can also consider the inclusion of certain vegetables in our morning meal. Though this might be less conventional in some cultures, it is a practice with deep roots in others and offers significant benefits. Lightly steamed greens like spinach or kale can be a wonderful accompaniment to eggs or tofu, providing minerals, vitamins, and chlorophyll. Even a few slices of cucumber or tomato can add a refreshing and hydrating element. The key is to choose vegetables that are easily digestible in the morning and prepare them in a way that retains their vitality. This isn't about a heavy, complicated salad, but rather a mindful addition of plant-based goodness that complements the other elements of our breakfast. These foods bring with them an inherent lightness, a purifying quality that can help to cleanse and refresh our internal environment as we begin the day. By consciously including these gifts from nature, we are doing more than just consuming vitamins and minerals. We are connecting with the earth's rhythm and abundance. There is an energetic exchange that occurs when we consume foods that are fresh and whole. They seem to impart a certain vitality, a brightness that translates into how we feel. Our bodies recognize these natural forms of nourishment, readily assimilating their goodness. This practice helps to cultivate a diverse and rich internal ecosystem, supporting not just physical health, but also mental clarity and emotional balance. It's a simple yet profound way to honor the interconnectedness of our well-being with the natural world around us, drawing upon its inherent wisdom to support our own journey towards a more vibrant and energized life. Each colorful bite is a step towards that radiant health. Inner flow. Finally, let us consider an aspect of our morning ritual that is often underestimated but profoundly impactful: the choice of our morning beverage and its role in promoting what we might call inner flow. Beyond the food we eat, what we drink first thing in the morning can significantly influence our hydration, digestion, and overall energetic state. While plain water is always essential, we can enhance this morning hydration with choices like warm herbal teas, or simply warm water, perhaps with a touch of lemon or a thin slice of fresh ginger. This practice is not merely about quenching thirst. It is about gently awakening our internal systems, cleansing and preparing the body for the day's nourishment and activities. It encourages a smooth, harmonious movement within, much like a gentle current that clears away any stagnation. Starting the day with a warm beverage, as opposed to something iced or very cold, is a practice revered in many ancient healing traditions. Warmth is seen as nurturing to the digestive organs, helping to relax and stimulate them without causing a shock to the system. Cold drinks, especially on an empty stomach, can be perceived by the body as a stressor, causing constriction and requiring energy to warm up, thereby diverting resources from other vital functions. Warm water or a gentle herbal infusion like chamomile, peppermint, or ginger tea can soothe the stomach lining, promote peristalsis, the natural movement of the intestines, and aid in the body's natural detoxification processes that are often more active during the night and early morning. It's like gently rinsing a delicate vessel before filling it. The ritual itself, the mindful preparation and sipping of a warm drink, can also be a meditative practice. It offers a moment of calm, a quiet space to center oneself before the demands of the day begin. This simple act of presence can set a positive and intentional tone. If choosing lemon water, the lemon, though acidic in nature, is said to have an alkalizing effect on the body once metabolized, and it provides a boost of vitamin C. Ginger is well known for its digestive benefits and anti-inflammatory properties, offering a gentle, warming spice that can invigorate the system. The key is simplicity and purity. Avoiding sugary juices, heavily caffeinated beverages that can be overly stimulating or lead to a crash, or milky drinks that might be heavy for some first thing, allows the body to awaken gently and naturally. This emphasis on inner flow through mindful hydration is about supporting the body's innate intelligence. Our internal environment thrives on fluidity, the smooth circulation of blood, lymph, and energy. Proper hydration with warming, cleansing fluids in the morning facilitates these processes, helping to remove waste products and ensure that nutrients are efficiently delivered to our cells. It contributes to clearer skin, better digestion, and a greater sense of lightness and mental clarity. It's a foundational practice that underpins all other efforts towards well-being. By tending to this simple yet vital aspect of our morning routine, we are nurturing the very currents of life within us, ensuring that our inner river flows smoothly, carrying us with grace and vitality into the unfolding day. This conscious choice, repeated daily, becomes a powerful cornerstone of a healthy and harmonious life. The journey to vibrant well-being in our senior years is not about rigid rules or deprivation, but about profound understanding and gentle alignment with our body's innate wisdom. By mindfully choosing what nourishes and avoiding what burdens, especially at the start of our day, we unlock a path to sustained energy, mental clarity, and a deep sense of inner peace. This is the true sustenance, the quiet power that allows us to engage with life fully, with grace and vitality, recognizing that each choice is an affirmation of life itself. This was so beautifully explained. I've been struggling with morning fog and energy crashes for years, and now I see how my quick breakfast choices might be the culprit. The idea of a gentle start with oatmeal and the inner flow from warm tea really resonates. Time to make some changes. Thank you for this wisdom.